Yeah, we are going to share, share screen.
People's Club bụ ndị ezigbo omume. Ewo, People's Club bụ ndị ezigbo omume na Naịjirịa. Odogwu, ọ dị ofele, fa kwesịrị ekwesị, ezi afa ka ego a na-akwadebe. Ọ dị ofele. People's Club odogwu. Igirigi adagbukwa n'anyị odogwu odogwu odogwu. Igirigi adagbukwa n'anyị ọkụ si adị igirigi adagbukwa n'anyị National President, People's Club of Nigeria, Prince Titus Ike Omezuoke, anyị sokwa n'azụ onye ọma chebe anyị. People's Club ọnụnụ dị sọnụ. Ife anyị bido na-abụ onye ka anyị wechi ala azụnụ. Ọkụ omena onye aka anyị ji kalịsịanụ. O ji ife nwata tinyezienụ n'ukonu. Akalobe na owetu nwa nwe ife welụnụ. Ezi afa kakwọ n'ego. Mgbomgbo ayabaya igirigi. Ode n'igwe nna ọnụọfịa n'igwe nsọ. President People's Club Onyema Nidu Sonu Titus Ike Omezuoke Biafumanya Ayabaya Mbom Iyam Igiligi Ayabam Mbom Igiligi GBC Chukwuka Akokali Adi Uso na tenyelu nwa ogbu n'ide anyị Uso na odeni Igbo na Nara gafe Areno Konkwo Gafumanyanu Eburu chairman n'Ọnịcha n'ide anyị Uso Ato Konkwo Afumanya Ato Richard Onyema n'ide anyị n'Usonu onye ndidi na-eli azụ ukwu onye mmanụ otegokwa n'iji n'udibe n'ezie na ọ bago ya aka nụ mana ọ bụrụ nkọnkọ FFBC Nwankwọ ga-afụmanya the tallest man n'ụwa afụmanya nụ Ọsọfịa ụwa na Nnọfịa nụ ayaba Imperial Photos n'osokwe bio Ike Ojukwu nọkwa nso National Secretary People's Club need Usonu Kimbo Ojukwu nọkwa m nsonu onye mana ọ dị mmanya wesi ndị Iloba ọnọchie mazi onye atani Obigo ga-afụ mmanya Son of this Oligebi ezi nwa arụ ngwa afụ mmanya nụ nwa onye aba ngwa na nke nwekwa na-enwenụ People's Princess n'isonye bio Ivebio n'idi muso Oliver Nwilozu gafụ mmanya nụ onye umoji bịanụ ọnụ na-ekwulu ọra n'umoji n'idi usonụ nwaka ibe ya onye ọma ngị isi na ọ bụrụkwa n'ụzọ ego ka eji ama mmadụ ezi omume n'osokwa kwulu eziokwu n'osokwa n'ụdị agbụ igwe ndekwa n'idi musonu onye ọma n'idi anyị mma Oliver onye olulelu anakwadebe ebute Sunday n'idi usọjọ je nọ Sunday n'idi anyị mma Udenwuba ka ga-afụ mmanya nụ nwa onye Oraifite nnụọ ezi amaala amalụ n'Ogechi Odoziakụ People's Club na-ekene n'idi anyị mmanya isi gị Honorable P.C. Ezenwanụ nwa onye ọba n'idi anyị nso ayaba mbom osi gravel nwoke kebie ezi nwanne obi n'idi nso onye mmanwụ n'obukwa n'egwu ibido ka anyị so ya gbazi anyị ga-agazi na mmiri ihe ọkụ ụzụ ga-afụ mmanya nụ National Legal Advisor n'idi anyị usonu nwa ọkụ ụzụ bịa kene ọ dị ike nke eme ile n'idi anyị usonu enwe ọkụzụ n'osiri na akpọ ị ga-afụ mmanya nụ ị ga-atụkwa m iche ka ntụọ ya ichenu n'ịtụọ m iche ma tụọ ya ichenu ife ị ga-eji tụ m iche n'ịmalị amalụ nke m ga-eji tụ n'ịmalụ n'ọgụ n'okwu osiri nwa osiribe nwa onye ọtanibịa ome ọkachie ayabayam anyị agọrụ n'osa na-ebi aka na-edela n'akwụkwọ dị nsọ Ogbuefi nna nyelego n'idi ụsọ nụ nwa fada dị n'idi anyị mmanụ ọgọsi nwe ile odibe nnụọ ehiriji Nwangu n'idi ụsọ ọzọ emezi na nwangu n'idi anyị mmanụ National Lord n'idi ụsọ anyị ebukanu anyị nweziri nkwu na mba nọ ilu na Lagos na anyị nọkwa ya Chikelu Banos anyị birinu aka ji akụnụ ayaba People's Mayor n'isokwa anyị bili ezi nwa nnọrọ ka agafọ m anya nụ onye ọma na otegokwa na ichebanyela anyị n'otu nụ Samuel Ọnwụmalaeze gafọ m anya nụ Machado n'ịdị anyị ọsọ nụ nkeke anyị na-achọ igwe nye ọsọ nwa onye nsu ugbo nke gafọ m anya ayaba Michael Obalabia nwanne nini dị m nsọ nụ dike eji aka dite ego nụ onye ọma na nga ji aka kwụsịtị mba ibe n'ụzọ nụ a ga-eme gịnị a ga-ekwu ya egwu nụ Power Mike Odemena iji anyị nsọ nụ o siri na akpọ ya ga-abụ n'ọnya nụ onye ọma aya
Okay, here we are here today. Let me see what we got. Yeah, texting one. I got to test to see if the YouTube is working fine. Yeah, I got to look at it to make sure that yeah, I got to do a microphone testing to make sure that everything is working right. Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, good evening. Testing 1, 2, 3. Everything sounds good. The mic is working. The what do they call it? The headphone is working. Everything is working fine. But I gotta also check some of the audio to see if I can actually can if somebody can hear me in the I think you guys can hear me. That's fine. The question is, can I hear you? Let me make sure that audio is working right. Camera is working fine. Then for the audio, let's see. Okay, I'm going to talk and yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. We're back today. It's a big topic. The topic is African and African American culture. That's African African culture. So what I'm going to be discussing today is the similarities and the difference and the pros and the cons and everything that is going good and going bad with our culture, and also how to unite for a good cause. Be you African in America, be you African in Caribbean, be you African in Europe, I don't consider you a different African. I consider us a one black race, Black are the same to me, no matter where you are. But what the discussion might be today is about our cultural differences because of geolocation, because of location, because of family past or current family trend or whatever it is, and also the cultural trend going on and the manipulation of culture and the new trends. We're going to all discuss those things if time permits. But what I'm trying to also say is this: is something wrong with our culture? Yes, something is wrong with our culture globally. We've lost the sense of our identity. That is what I want to discuss today. What is wrong with the sense of our identity? We've lost it, but we need to correct it. I am not here to discuss the pains of anybody, but I'm also here to discuss the solutions also. I'm not just here to discuss the pains because I know we've gone through pains and traumas. Some of us is family history, some of us is peer pressure, some of us is trying to belong, but at the same time, each individual of us contributing to the benefit and to the betterment of our culture is what I'm here to discuss. And that is what I want to discuss going forward. How to improve what is damaged, what is good, and also how to fix what is damaged. I'm sorry. How to improve what is good and also how to fix what is damaged. Because, yes, is something damaged? I bet you a lot is damaged. A lot is damaged. But should it remain damaged forever? No, we have children. We have children that are growing up. We want to leave a legacy behind, a legacy where our children will have a better life than we did. We be in a place better than we did. We also inherit a culture better than we did. That is what we are trying to fight for today. Can we do it? Yes, we can do it. And let's make it happen. Because I know that so many of us here have differences of opinion when it comes to each individual or each geolocation or where we come from. But guess what? We cannot allow this to continue. I personally don't want it to continue. We can't be a loose cannon in everything that we do. We have future to secure. We have and I'm sorry. This future includes the business of our people, the politics of our people, and also our place in the 21st to the 22nd century. Because now we are almost a quarter into this 21st century, and we don't have anything to prove. We don't have anything to prove. We don't really have businesses. We don't really have industries. We don't really have factories. We don't even really have production lines. But we can have this if we can get it right from where it's started to damage. So the thing is, let's go back to where it started to damage and then bring it in into today. Let me drop a link in case if anybody want to come in because I'm not going to do a monologue for long, but I want to invite people in so that way we can get this started. So I'm going to drop the link. If you want to join, but I'm going to keep doing the monologue. If you want to join, just join. Okay, you can click on the thing and come up. So, like I'm saying, we have a lot to do, and it's just a lot. Personally, it's a lot. What I've seen in the global space is a lot. We have, like, sometimes I read papers, I read articles, I look at the Indians, I look at the Chinese, I look at the Japanese, I look at even in the West, that's the Europeans. These people are light years ahead of us in so many things. They raise their kids to be the best in school. Our kids are up there to compete with them. But who are our kids working for? Our kids are just working for them. They're not working for us. Our wives are working for them. They're not working for us. So if we can't fix these things, how do we change the narrative? We can't change the narrative by having our names placed on something, getting endorsements. No. Working on a television station for somebody else, streaming podcasts by on a company that doesn't belong to us. And tomorrow, when you say something that is not right to their ears, they just cut you off. You're gone. You can't even do anything. Now you got to go through a appealing process just because you made certain race mad. But if we have our own streaming service, if we have our own production line, if we have things that we manufacture, guess what? We can sit on that table, having discussion with them. They don't discuss on our behalf. Sometimes I look at the United Nations. I look at certain things that are done at the maybe the Security Council of the United Nations and stuff. They said that the West is having a meeting to discuss African situation. How do you discuss African situation without Africans on the table? And that's what happened in the 18 something. Africa was divided into 52 colonies without Africans being on the table. Africans didn't even know that that their lands were divided into 52 partitions. It's an insult. It's disgraceful. But it is disgraceful because you're not there. You don't have what it takes to sit on the table. But how can we sit on the table if we can't get certain things right? One of the craziest things that we haven't gotten right, we're still looking to get right, is our culture. Now we kind of dominated the music industry, but we don't really own much in the music industry. We still don't own the award that dominates the music industry. We still don't own the televisions that the streaming service for music industries. We still don't own the television studios or stations that will broadcast those music. We don't. We don't own those things. My brother CBN, good evening, bro. I beg CBN, hop online. Let's talk, man. I really, it's been a while, bro. I haven't seen you in a long time. So it's so sad. We don't have any of these things. Look at how our actresses are coming up. These are black women with high talent. These are black men with high talent, actors and actresses, talking about how they are underpaid. They are underpaid for services that they provided. But then, how can they complain? Whereas most of the men and the well waiters that are supposed to provide avenue for them to come and showcase their talent are not even opening any of those services. I remember she said Taraji Hansen said that Taraji Hansen, right, said that she earned about $300,000 for something that Amy Schumer earned $25 million, 23 million. And then she said, "Oh, I know I wasn't funny enough, but I should have gotten 2 million extra." And they gave her 2 million extra without her even asking for it. It is sad. It is sad. That is why we have to start doing our own things. We don't even own any defense industry. We don't even own any aerospace. We don't even own much of manufacturing at all. And we want to sit down and talk. You can't sit down and talk if you don't have what it takes. Because what it takes is that you are negotiating from the position of weakness. You cannot negotiate from the position of weakness. Always negotiate from the position of strength. I remember a time I was discussing with somebody, and the individual told me that, "Oh, shit, you have this idea, you have that idea. Why don't you go and meet somebody and have them invested in your company?" I said, "Yeah, I really like it, but I cannot have somebody invest in my company if I'm still at the starting stage because I'm going to lose leverage. I am negotiating from the position of weakness. That if I do that, I will negotiate from position of weakness." And most people that have lost their company are people that actually did negotiate from position of weakness. My brother CBN,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing, bro. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm working from my laptop because my main computer is down, so I
Oh,
don't
sorry
have
about
the
it.
virtual background
Yeah,
at
I
the
know,
moment.
I know. You don't have the stuff, the background. Uh, are you getting my echo? You're not getting my echo, right?
No, no, no. The only way you can get an
Oh,
echo when you're broadcasting on StreamYard, and you're
and
allowed
you
the
have
volume
YouTube.
from YouTube. You have to mute YouTube and
Hmm.
still run from
Yeah,
StreamYard. That's the same to my own
that's right.
platform I have.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So it's so sad, man. Like negotiating from the position of weakness is not something that anybody should do. I don't even wish it any human being to do that because it's not good at all. You cannot negotiate from position of weakness. But at the same time, how do you come on a table and have this conversation with folks if you don't have your own manufacturing? We don't really manufacture anything, especially
And
here in
can
America.
I, and can
Especially
I,
here in America. Yeah.
what you just said right now, only
Hmm.
if you knew the amount of pushback that I was getting throughout last year and the year before. People think I'm just running my mouth, just making stuff up. I've been telling people this
Hmm.
is the problem that we have as a people. I watch Roland Martin on Filter and many other real reporter dig back and find information. Even this
Yeah.
guy, Oshedu Jackson, who's in Uganda, this is an African American
Hmm.
guy living in our African country, understanding what is really going on, what it is to own your own, and
Hmm.
telling people the people before us in the early '90s wanting the black community without owning your own. When you don't own your own, you lose leverage. How much
Hmm.
can you say? When you watch all these actresses getting paid a fraction compared to their white counterpart or to their
Yeah.
Jewish counterpart or the European counterpart, you're wondering why, but you have a resume showing your work.
Hmm.
Working in corporate
It's
America,
sad.
working in corporate America, and know that corporate America is not what you think it is. Black people don't realize we don't have our own political leverage. We don't have our own school. We really have our own banks all over the country.
Hmm.
We don't have our own groceries. We
Hmm.
don't own our own manufacturing. When you don't
Not at
have
all.
any type of political leverage that can
No political
negotiate
leverage.
across the board, you're fighting an uphill battle, which sometimes I've been trying to explain to a lot of people. They say, oh, we don't have our own news media. Okay, fine. You got this guy, Roland Martin on Filter. How long have you doing that program?
Mhm. For why?
The only black owned news media that is consistent for a while. The guy had
Hmm.
a resume. He understand the TV business. He understand how people negotiate behind closed door. He worked for both CNN and TV One at exactly the same time. He was
Hmm.
there during the board meeting in TV One when they had to make deals and negotiate and fund and found out they weren't getting funding like other major media were getting funding from the government. He giving people the math, the game, how things is run in this country. When you don't understand the country system and you're on the outside, all you can do is
Yeah.
make noise. All you do is go make noise, make noise, make noise. Ah, da, da, mm-mm. But when you work in the corporate sector that interact with the government, where government are doing business deal behind closed door, whereby the government have to make money. Let's be real.
Oh yeah.
If they're not making money, how can this country run? People don't even
Tell me
think about
about
the
it.
people don't think about the logistic behind how things run in their own country. Like, oh, import. Okay, then who? Where did the taxes go to? Where did the bill go to? How you get the thing done in your neighborhood? How you get the road constructed in your neighborhood? The material to get to do the road in your neighborhood. Where did it come from? When you want to transport goods and services to your fellow grocery, who's in charge of the trucking industry? Who's in charge of the shipping industry? Who's in charge of the manufacturing industry? Who run those things? Who's paying them to make sure that they're going to one from point A to point B? Nobody knows, nobody cares. They want things out they want it. But they don't realize there's a system for it to work the way it's supposed to work. It's why we have it what it is right now. But when we're not part of that particular system, when you're not part of that particular negotiation, you cannot say anything.
No, you can't. You can't say nothing.
Working in corporate America for over 22 years, working in different environments, I got to understand something. They play. Oh, there's an echo. So not on my side, but I think on your side. There's a.
Is it still echoing?
I can hear the echo now. No, it stopped. There's
Okay.
a game that people play. There are people who sit in the boardroom
Hmm.
who are responsible for the negotiation. What, who get what, who gain what. I
Yeah.
pay for this service. I pay for this logistic. I pay for the transport. I pay for this property.
Hmm.
I pay for this product. They
Yeah.
negotiate the costs. They negotiate the profit. They negotiate what needs to be done. We're not part of that. We're never there. You talk about reparation. You said it last time on one panel how our own people against them getting reparated, which is totally true. Black people don't see what was really going on. How long are you going to fight for reparation? But every other ethnic group gets something that they was not a part of. You look at history. All the European who came to the country, they were given something in advance because they have a image, they have a identity, and they have some kind of system back of them that support them, right? Okay, fine. As you fast forward to now, the illegal immigrant people are saying that they're coming into the country, they're getting free health care, they're getting $3,000 on a credit card, they're getting room and boarding, but yet the people who blood, sweat, and tear build the country don't get nothing. Okay, is that the issue? Okay, fine. Who is your representative that represent the whole collective? Who can be in a bargaining room and fight for us? Who is one that's consistent? We don't have any. They were active. Who are your gatekeepers? Who are the one who understand the gripe and the issue you're dealing with that is on that table? Hold them consistent. They know it. You need to pay up. It's long overdue. Who are doing that for them? We watch the the reparation meeting they had in California on Information Man show, and he showed the video how so many people come up there. Some was rambling, some was speaking point, but it shows that there's no collective. I was telling somebody the other day, Wally, that was a few months ago. Explain it to me. Why they I see on multiple panels, I hear the same phrase. Black people is not a monolith. But at the same time, you talk about you have a black community. Black people are not a monolith. There's no community to begin with. There won't be any.
That's right. That's 100% correct. I agree with you on that one. Because if you look at it this way, right? Like you said, these people come from Europe. They come from here. They come from other places. They get all these help. They get dollar help. They get housing help. You know, somebody once told me that we Africans also get the same help. I said, no, we don't. We do not. In fact, if when we come here, we must have relatives. We must have somebody's house that we're going to. We cannot just come here blindly like that. We must either come into school or there is somebody's house that we're going to stay. But
I
those people can come here and claim anything they want to claim, and in fact, they bring them in thousands. Like look at the like you see this Ukraine war. It really betrays my conscience all the time because I don't like wars. But these people came right from Ukraine. They went to the best of the. They put them in best schools. People that don't even know them took them in,
don't,
and
I
they
don't
became part of the family.
I don't think people
Just
know
like
what how African go through because I was there growing up at the 80 where I saw my mother, my father help many Nigerians come to the country and trying to get situated. There's no benefit that we get. We start from ground up. My father, my mother, and a very few people will help people look for jobs. They use their own name to help people get job, either trying to get into the cab industry, trying to get into the nursing industry, or there's a kind of in New York. I'm sure you heard of it. Many people come to New York City end up doing security, cab, or nursing. Top three where they'll start off. And if anyone have a sitting for in the government job and they had a good name, they start to bring people one by one into the center. My father helped a lot of people get job working in the Department of Housing in New York City. My father passed away long ago. He would help a lot of Nigerians, not just only Nigerians, but other Africans. It's a thing that people do whereby they learn from what the Chinese are. The Chinese, look at the Chinese community. They're locked down. they're always going to help their people who want to get in. If you got a skill set that you require, they'll pull you in. Same thing with the Japanese, same thing with the South Korean. It's all set up. They are the they are the monolith. They have to be a monolith. You know why? If they're so individualized, they will not have no political power. They will have no say. They will have no push. They have to think alike. They have to think collectively. I've been in many corporate sectors. When I see the South Korean or the Japanese and they know each other among themselves based on where they come from, lunch break, they put themselves together in one area. They sit together, bring their food. I saw this in New Jersey. They get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 table, 8 table, put it together. Boom. They brought their own food. They have all plastic plates and they share among themselves as a community. And I watch them in the cafeteria, company cafeteria, mind you. Every time lunch break, they time it together, do exactly just that. Everybody bring their own food to come, boom, boom, boom. They eat among themselves. When they're done, stop put the table back, boom. And I watched, I was like, that's a strain. I did that among Jewish people. They think collective because you know why? They're working toward to a particular common goal. Whenever there's an issue within a company, they got their own representative that fight for them and they make sure to fight for their own best interests. But when it comes to us, too many individuals, we don't have much of a voice as a collective because you know why? You have no representative. There is none. If it's not in the movie industry, in the news industry, why do you think they're afraid of Roland Martin? They know his resume. They're the guy who, American journalist, that ever to interview 2 African leaders on his own. The president of Ghana did not want to talk to nobody when he came here. Not even the guy from CNN. He put a block to that one. He don't want to see none of their face. Roma was the only African American journalist that interviewed that guy here in the US and in their turf. He went to Liberia, did the same thing. He did the same thing in Sierra Leone. Like, people don't understand. They see people who are nation builder, who are community builder, they will interact with those people. Those who are individualists, they put them to the side. People don't want to understand. When you want to
But
play
that's
this
but
nonsense,
look at it this way. That's the problem in our community because if you look at it, it's a lot of individualism. Because if you look at the way we do things, like you see how you say that when you go to at work, Chinese people bring food, they eat together, and but you see in our place, we ourselves in the US here, we don't want to do that because guess what? Oh, I don't want people looking at me like you and I are eating on the same food. You know what? It's like I can't afford my own food. We live the high life, and then everything crumbles down. We live the high life because if you look at it this way, right? We are not into a situation where we all collaborate together to deliver. There is always infighting, there is always backbiting, there is somebody always not telling you that you can't do this. Because I'm like when somebody comes to me and say that they want to do something, I always tell them to go do it. Go do it, you can make it happen. Because when I was growing up as a little kid, I would hear people tell me this, tell me that I can't do this, I can't do that, that this is impossible, that if I try this, it's going to fail. And that thing really betrayed my consciousness so bad. And when I proved them wrong, they were shocked. But I proved them wrong because I wanted them to be shocked. And I didn't like the fact that people were telling me, no, you can't do it. It's up until my 20. In fact, I would say when I came to America, that's when people that know me stopped saying that. But guess what? I ran into a whole new problem. That is people that didn't know me. Those those became another problem again. You know you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do this. If you do this, it's going to fail. I had to start finding a way to prove them wrong. But in America, you might not see somebody for 10 years. You know what I mean? for 5 years. You can't see them. But what they said to you that moment lives in you. That's how dangerous it is to listen to people. And that's how what we black people should stop doing. Because the reason why I say we should stop doing this, most of us have garages in our house. You see what I'm saying? Most of us have garages in our house. And if you look at our garages that is in our house, that is the same way the Apple company was built.
Not just Apple. Apple were built that way. Dell were built that way. Many other tech companies were built in that same format. Me being in IT, when you mentioned garage, it's not hard to understand that. A lot of tech corporations that in today's market right now came
Yeah,
from the garage.
even Google,
Literally.
even Google. Because look at it this way. What do we, what happens in the black community garage? Basketball, weed, drink, alcohol. That's what happened in the regular black community garage. It doesn't matter which black community. Because when I say black, I'm saying all of them. Africa, Caribbeans, African Americans, all of us. We don't have garage full of tech, full of children trying to build the next big thing. I was looking at, like, you know, whenever I go to a new house and I'm looking at it, one thing that goes through my mind is the garage and the office. Because in the garage, I can put some things to make a difference in this world, right? In the
Mhm,
office, I can build this
mhm.
computer and studio. I can build a whole lot of things. Those are the two things, because I know that those are the two places I can spend my time when I'm at home, office and garage. Because to me, the ingenuity in a man comes to the office and the garage. But what I want us to do, this new generation coming up now, they should go to the garage just like every other race does. Go to
But,
that garage and make that difference.
but there's a problem to that.
Yeah.
And this was talked about a year and a half ago on the Lapeef Network on a show to call Broke and Dusty. We got a young generation like Jedi Mike, Jonathan Barronville, Cheeky Banton, a few, and I was on that panel, and we talked about this in this country among our people, or the African diaspora among Black. There's not a push for education. There's not. There's a push to look fly. There's a push to look flashy. There's a push to look cool. But when it comes to being educated, that's never the push. And I explained to them that is bad because when I went to school in this country, elementary school here, high school here, and for some parent reason, I noticed something in the common denominator across the board, even in college. Being the most educated person is never look cool among blacks. Never. And I find that strange in this country. But you again, and you and I both know this very, very, very well. In Nigeria, being educated is a big, big deal. When you're not educated, you look down upon. If you don't have a solid education, they look down on you real bad. Am I wrong again? Tell me if I'm lying about this because it's not just only in Africa. I hear the same thing in the Caribbean. The most highly educated person in your set is where all the girls are chasing after they know that person have a bright future. That person about to go places. That person about to do things. They want to attach themselves to that individual so that when he start building that next corporation, she she's going along for the ride. But over here on the state, they're waiting for you at the finish line to jump in. They're not ready to go with you and build it. Oh no, 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 I don't do none of that work. I want and people don't get it. That is so backward. But you don't realize why when you do that type of mindset, you leave yourself at the bottom of the barrel immediately because you're not building anything. The older generation of the 1940s, the 30s, 40s, and 50s were thinking the same way as the African one did. They were thinking of building. They were thinking of creating something. They were thinking of owning. That was before segregation was destroyed. After segregation was destroyed, everybody kind of like dropped the ball. They want to be assimilated. I think that was a big mistake people made, trying to be assimilated, trying to get recognition from the other counterpart. But when you do that, you lost track of owning things. I think that's what the problem is. How many corporations in America are black owned? How many corporations that you think you can go to that you know you
Yeah,
have other?
I gotta show you something, right? Like, check this guy out. Uh, Let me share the screen. Okay, I don't know if you know him. Adebayo. That's Adebayo Ogunlesi. Adebayo Ogunlesi, right? Is one of the richest men, black men on earth. He's a Nigerian guy born in England. He
Oh,
lives in Los
oh, he went to
Angeles.
King College. Okay,
Yeah, he
nice.
went to
Okay.
King College. And then he's actually, if you look at him, right here, let me show you.
Hmm.
You see this company right here. Let me see if I can pull it up. I think I might have to move up a little bit. So this guy himself is a very wealthy individual. So I'm going to go to his career. So there is something he did recently, right? He merged with a company.
Hmm.
So he was working for I think Goldman Sachs or something.
Oh, I know.
Then
I have a colleague
he's
used
a,
to work there. He
then
told me
he
the story.
joined he joined the First Boston as an advisor when he was dealing with the gas project in Nigeria. But he also went to school in England. So he also taught the Caribbean, Europe, and Middle East, right? He's a very, very exposed man. But recently, there is a merger that happened here in January 2024. BlackRock agreed to buy Global Infrastructure Partner. This is a company that Adebayo manages. Global Infrastructure Partner is a company that he manages, which is worth over 12.5 billion in asset, right?
Hmm.
So they merged together. I'm sorry, their merger brought in 12.5 billion. But this guy's worth almost 3 billion. So BlackRock will pay 3 billion in cash and 12 million of its own shares as part of the deal to buy GIP. So BlackRock is merging with his company and they are doing a $12 billion transaction. 3 billion in cash. And then the rest in stocks, right?
Hmm.
So this guy right here, this is the thing that I'm talking about. That we as black people have to have. But the thing is this: how many of us are here like Adebayo? Very few of us. It doesn't matter if it's Nigeria or if it's African American, right?
Hmm.
We are not owning enough company. Okay, look at the case of NFL, right? If you look at the NFL, zero black owners.
I know.
Zero. There is an Indian guy that owned. What's his name?
Con,
Atlanta.
no,
Is it
no, Jacksonville
Tampa
Jaguars.
Bay? Jacksonville Jaguar. It's
He
owned by
also,
an Indian guy, right?
I know, but that same Indian guy who owned the Jacksonville Jaguar also owned two wrestling business called AEW and Ring of Honor,
Mm-hmm.
which I've been
Yep.
following. So he is spreading his wealth and multiplying.
I'm multiplying.
But here the joke
So
though, he was also the funder for CBN, what do you call it? Well, that news company that fell under because they didn't have proper management. He gave them
mhm,
$20 million to be their
to
own
buy
black
it.
news network. And when he was funding them, they were not making no profit. They were trying to go as big as CNN
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Willamette
I
and
remember that
warned them.
case. Yeah,
Willamette
yeah,
and warned them. When I found out who the founder was, who was funding them, I was like, that same guy? If he
yep.
pull out,
I think he took his money out. That was last year.
he took his money out because he realized they're not making no money. They just
They're not making
spending
any
money.
profit.
And Walmart and warned them, start out small and build your base. They did not listen. That guy don't like to put his money anywhere that's not making him money. Why you
No, no
think he
billionaire, no,
why
no,
he gave
no
himself
businessman
money?
should be put. No businessman should be putting their money where they don't have return on
Bingo.
their investment.
He tested his son. You see, he know the wrestling business, and his son is making a killer profit, running two wrestling business with the iconic names now, and they're
Hmm.
competing with the biggest one they had here that been built for how many years? How many decades that been existent? Now,
Wow.
come on, people don't think.
No, people don't at all. You know, because the thing is this, right? People think that business has to be made based on sentiment. You can't do business based on sentiment. You can't do business to sponsor somebody else's lifestyle, or finance somebody else's lifestyle. You do business because you need return on your investment. That's how
Bingo,
business is done.
bingo.
You can business is not a charity. But the thing is this: yes, you might have 1 or 2%, 1 or 2% in a certain period of time where you have to give out something through
Hmm.
um, endowment, through sponsorship, through catering for the poor. But you
Hmm.
cannot always write loss. It's not good, especially when you're dealing with people that are supposed to be earning income. If there is income, if there is a paycheck given to you, you have to have a productivity.
And that's the problem.
You
Guess
got to
what?
give something to the company for the company to pay you. It's just like I do in Nigeria. Like when I'm dealing with people in Nigeria, they want to ask me for money. I do it one time, but every other time you have to work for me. You see, I can't keep giving you money. You have to work for me. You have to give me a
I
reason
think
why I
that's the
should give
problem.
you.
People looking for handout.
I
I'll
don't
give you
give
an example.
handout.
AKA, I know you know this business in Nigeria.
Yeah,
Lawrence Shitumoto, you know that company?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know why I know that company very, very well, personally speaking? Because the son that took over the business, he was my classmate from Akbata Memorial High School.
Hmm.
That's number one.
I
Number
think the
two,
dad died. The dad died about 2 years ago or something, right?
a year and a half ago,
He
when I
had a
found
heart
out
attack.
when when I found out about it, I contacted his son directly, gave him my condolence and everything, and I know how he feel. The thing is, I didn't know what happened to his father long before that because he told me what was his dream when we were both in high school, and I hold him to it. And fast forward about a decade and a half ago, he let me know he had accomplished. I mean, he turned his father business from a car dealership to the manufacturing plant.
Hmm.
Fast forward, yeah, five manufacturing plant in Nigeria. He building one in Ghana right now, and he making his father business become a beacon for progress. This dude
Yeah.
have helped a lot of people on the side. Yes, some people didn't like how he operate things, but people don't understand something. He's a business-minded person. I understand that functionality very well. 'Cause when I lived under my uncle used to be the general manager for Nitel, for both Lagos and Abuja before Nitel went down. It's funny how all the other government entity went down and have new businesses that replace it, but the one that still remain is NEPA. But I don't understand why. But the way that do revolutionize the car industry, went from importing to manufacturing, that is a big, 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 big deal. When you start building your own things, you have
So
less.
you say they are manufacturing now in Nigeria?
You, they manufacture cars, trucks, SUVs, and bus.
They started doing it recently.
Ben, you go to the website, look at Lawrence Shitumoto. You be
Oh, okay.
surprised.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't know because I saw it. I didn't know they're the one that own it.
Hmm.
I think they saw this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true. But you
That's
see, that's the thing that we are lacking. Like, okay, just look at America today. There is no black-owned manufacturing car company.
my
There
point
is not.
exactly. My
There is
point
not.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to explain.
But we need to change it. We need to do something about it. You see what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
need to do something about it.
But if
This cannot continue.
But think about it again. You have been going back and forth between the U.S. and to Nigeria, right? You
Yes.
see, the real estate business has changed. People are building house way better than the U.S. And how they're able to do that?
Mhm.
They're finding people who was background in the construction industry in here, bring them over there for the past decade, and start implementing changes. It's not so.
Changes, yes.
That's what's going on. And I've been saying it for throughout last year and year before that. People like, oh, you did. I said,
That's
dude,
true.
I've been saying it for a while
That's
because
true.
I've been saying it for more than 10 years. We need to own ourselves. We need
Mhm.
to come together. When we can come together and own your own business and
We
compete,
have to. We have to come together in this country. We have to come together because I cannot preach it enough. I
and and that's
I
why I
go
work with
ahead.
That's why I work with BMU right now because I know in less than 10 minutes I have to be on his side to run a new
Yeah,
show.
I know. That
This is why
I
I
saw
do
I
it.
saw I
You
saw
notice
it
I
alert came in.
collaborate
So
with people.
once I think I shut it down at 7:58, so you can go
I know,
to
but you
because
understand
I
what I'm
saw it's
talking about.
alert.
I
Yeah.
like to collaborate
So
with people who have a vision to do
mhm,
something big. But I will tell you if I'm collaborating with you, I'm going to push you to be better. I'm going to push you to make changes.
100% correct.
Because I told him several times, I know he's younger than me, but still, I will continue to push. I said, I see certain things that you can change to work on so you can grow better, so
Mhm.
you can build better. Because first and foremost, you cannot own anything by yourself. You need a team to help you build something.
You need a team.
Facebook was built by a team. Google was built by a team.
Actually, the
Apple
team
was
that
built
built
by
it,
the team.
they stole the team from the team. It was stolen.
I know Apple
But
was stolen. I know that because that's in my field. Apple was stolen, but they did it as a team.
no, I mean Facebook was stolen from somebody.
No, Facebook was done by a college graduate who they lived in New York, and they
Two
figure
two
out
but two twin brothers.
yeah. But the
Yeah,
thing is,
twin brothers. Yeah.
but the funny thing about it, they both of their websites started around the same time. But I checked both of them, but there was no similarity about it. They will say they took it to court, mind you. They took that thing to court. Facebook won the judgment. The other company was Friendster. Facebook versus Friendster. The problem is Friendster did not chew up the way Facebook did. When Facebook first started, you only need a job email and a school email to log in. I was able to log in with my college email at that time, but I was seeing how it worked. It wasn't fully developed yet, so I kept my account. The
Mhm.
year after multiple development that happened between Facebook, they opened it to the public. So if you look at my account and see when I first started, it will show you I've been a comment for a very, very long time. I was testing out
Mhm.
many social media platforms as they were building up, as they were growing, and see what would be the change, who would be solid, who would not be solid. MySpace was like that too. I started
It
the
was
company
like
I
that.
started with was called collarclub.com. That was the first social media platform that gave
Mhm.
everybody the blueprint on how to build their own platform to what it is today. Every other
Mhm.
social media platform learned from the mistake they made, also learned from
From
MySpace
MySpace,
mistake they
right?
make. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they see how these two big names fell off, they learn what to do and not to do. College Club would have been solid, but it was overspending. They were not
Mhm.
matching their budget. MySpace fell due to security issues. It was not locked down properly. So every social media platform was running for these two major mistakes people were making and other mistakes along the way. So to make sure that they stable. That's what's going on. Everything has to be done by a team. You cannot do everything on your own. It's not
No, you can't.
possible.
You can't. You have to have a team to build it. In fact, as a matter of fact, you write about that because my transportation company, I built it all by myself. I built it by myself. It looks really good. The website is superb, right?
Hmm.
But it's time that I have to transfer to security company to lock the security page so that I will because I just got a malware on it. So with the malware, the good thing is that I don't have any nobody can key in
Bingo.
credit card
Bingo.
until I secure. But you can call me on the phone, but you can't put credit card. So until I secure the lock, the website lock part of it,
Hmm.
now you can now I'll open it up for credit card transaction. Because the thing is that you can't mess with security when it comes to that. You have to always have security because of
Bingo.
people's identity or stuff. If not, people get attacked. Their credit card information is lost. Now you have to start looking for how to give a refund, or maybe they have to call their credit card company. It's a hassle, and then you get a negative review. But the bottom line is this in this discussion: this we have to discuss and push because just like I tell people you in MBA doesn't guarantee you're rich because number one, 50% of your income you're losing it to taxes and what do they call it? And these and agents. Then the other one, you're spending it because you're going to destroy it in trying to please a woman that doesn't love you. And then kids that are spoiled kids. 20 years of your life, you're on the highway, you're on the road, running around. By the time you come to become a father, these kids are grown. They're like, where is he
and,
showing up from?
and here's the joke. What if the percentage of basketball player actually sat down and used their money wisely? That's about 1% of
One
the
percent.
1%. And that one
I don't even
percent
know if it's up to one. I
and
don't
that
even
one
know if it's up
percent
to 1%.
they make fun of them. Like, look at him.
Mm-hmm,
He just did something. But you don't realize by
mm-hmm,
the time he
mm-hmm.
retire and see how many business he's established and how much he worked, you're like, wait a minute.
But,
Only LeBron James caught on to it. But while he
mm-hmm.
was playing, he doing his investment. He's the only billionaire player.
Alive because Kobe started it. Kobe and Michael Jordan were the one that
They
did
thought
really
that he
good,
learned from them.
and my and my and Magic, Magic Johnson. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
You're right. They started it, but he got to the point where he made sure I'm not gonna play this game. I'm gonna do it better.
Yeah.
And he made sure that
Mm-hmm,
what thing he did, he read a lot. He read to understand how the business world work, how to
mm-hmm,
operate in that realm. Because when you don't understand how things work,
mm-hmm. But
you get out
I don't
here.
I don't think that they're still not doing it right. If you ask me personally, even Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kobe, they're still not doing it right. Even LeBron James is still not doing it right. You know why? Because all they own is endorsements. Endorsements. That's it. They don't own any manufacturing.
That
They're not
that that that,
sponsoring
that part
manufacturing. They're not,
that part is a
yes.
lot of work. You know why it's a lot of work? Because
Mhm.
that means he had to stay away from the NBA and be sit down on the ballroom multiple nights, which you don't have the time to do that yet. Now, if he were to finish his, let's say his last year in the basketball season, and he decided to retire, then he would have to go and look at his portfolio and see what he needs to work on. Let me get out of here right
But one of
now
the things they
because
can work on is one of the things that he can work on in the next 30 seconds before we leave. One of the things that he can work on. But if anybody want to come online, you can come online. Let me drop the link. If anybody want to come online, but we have about 10 minutes. I have about 10-15 minutes to be gone. But so one of the things that he has to work on is manufacturing his shoe. He has to get away from Nike. Go buy the equipment, build the company, build a manufacturing company, buy the equipment and do it yourself. Hire people that will produce it for you. Hire laborers, hire workers, hire executives that will do it for you. Pay them those big money so you can have that work forever. Don't get out of Nike. Have your own company, manufacturing company. That's what I'm saying. In China or in the US, start it somewhere.
you're right about that because the thing is, he had to look at it this way. If you want to own your own thing, you have to build it from ground up. And not a lot of people like to do things from ground up. They like to avoid that. Just like
Yeah.
what Kanye West avoid doing things from ground up, and this way he got himself in the position where he is.
And he backed his ass.
Pretty much.
He backed his ass.
Let me get
Okay.
out of here.
Sylvia,
No, all
Sylvia,
right.
I'll see you there. I'm here every 2 weeks. Okay. So
Uh,
not this Sunday, but the following one.
no
Yeah.
problem. No problem. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Good to
Okay.
see you.
Thank you. Okay. Bro. Yeah. So that's a good show. That's a good one, bro. That's a good one. So today we are discussing our culture because and then we pivot into business. But the thing about it is this, right? As a culture, as a people, we don't like to do anything from ground up. We don't like to start from ground up. We don't like to build anything from ground up. Everything that we like to do, we like to go to somebody that already has it. Just look at Nigeria today. There is something called JAPA. JAPA is a process whereby the educated ones or the ones with degree will leave a country that's in seek of a better pasture in another country or in a foreign or in the West. So that's why Nigeria is called a Japa because they live in. But does that help? Yeah, to a certain extent, it does help because they are going to, get something bigger. But the problem, just like I was watching a show in the I think it's DW or something. Some of them are not coming back, And I've had multiple conversations with so many Nigerians about going overseas and not returning home to make a difference. And they're all giving me so many excuses why they can't do this, they can't do that. But the problem is, even in the same overseas that you are, you're not doing anything other than working for somebody. You don't have any production. Like you don't, if you're in the medical field, you don't even have a hospital. There is no hospital in this country that is owned by a Nigerian. They might have an office, but in Nigeria you can build a hospital. But in America you can't build one. But take what you have and take it back here so you can make a difference. You don't want to do it. No government provides job. Government do not produce job. What government does is that they provide the avenue for job creation through taxes, through infrastructural development. Those are things that government will do. But government will not necessarily create more than 3 to 5% of the job in the whole country. Yes, in every given country, government is usually the biggest employer. But we as a people, we need to make that difference. So next Sunday, I'm going to catch up with you guys. I might do this next Sunday because I might continue from this next Sunday. But I prefer to come here every 2 weeks. I prefer every 2 weeks, but there's a possibility I'm going to be here next Sunday or maybe sometime during the week. But I'm going to I'm going to make a schedule for that. But probably next Sunday, I'll be back here to go, to have to continue with this. But next to Sunday, that's the following, not this Sunday, not a week from now, but 2 weeks from now, is going to be a whole totally different topic. But my topic will always circle around Africa, American Africa. I'm talking about blacks worldwide. Blacks worldwide, investment, politics, and industrialization. That is what I'm going to be focusing on. That's what I'm going to discuss. That's what I'm into. So see you guys next week. Thank you for listening and have a great and wonderful night. Good night. Bye-bye.